Check it out one time.
Yeah, I'm winning. Nothing in my way, never slow down. I done made mistakes, but that's old now. Only better days I can show now. Now it's time. Yeah, I'm winning. Waiting on this day for a long time. They congratulate for the show now. Nothing in my way, only welcome to the winning circle.
Hello, I'm Dr. Yolanda Gamble. Welcome to the Winner's Circle, where we empower you with the knowledge you need to succeed. Tonight, we're going to be talking to a wonderful, distinguished guest, and I am totally excited about my guest on tonight. Now, we're going to focus on staying cutting edge and preparing for the future. Staying cutting edge and preparing for the future. My guest tonight is the renowned Mr. Samuel Alexander.
Thank you, Dr. Gamble.
He is the CEO of C2C Fashion and Technology and Global Ecosystem. That's big. I know some of you are saying, well, what is Global Ecosystem? Stay tuned, because what he's going to inform you with is going to really empower you and your children, those who are going to college and those who are pursuing other careers. It's very likely they want to enter into this field of experience. So I'm really excited about my guest on tonight, and I want to welcome you.
Thank you.
Mr. Alexander.
Thank
God
you for
bless
having me.
you.
Bless you
Thank you
also.
so much. I'm just so happy to see you. You're looking very nice and distinguished.
Thank
and
you.
I must let you know, on my guest, in on some information that you have been recently featured in Forbes magazine this month of June.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Well-
Isn't that wonderful? This is so powerful. So I'm just really ecstatic to have you on tonight, and I can't wait to ask you just a plethora of questions, because I want to really probe into what you do and who you are. Anyone that's featured in Forbes magazine are very important people. I want y'all to know that, right?
I don't know about all that now.
I've known you for a little while, though,
Okay.
and I'm so happy to befriend you and to get to know you a little bit. And you've always been very, very ahead of time. You really have. You're always forward thinking and all of that, and I'm impressed by that. You inspire me.
Well,
So I'm just so happy to have you tonight.
well, thank you. But coming out of corporate life, you have to always look out 5 years of where we're headed to, and project out. And things that are happening right now, it's already been put to bed. So
Yes.
those are old things.
Yes, you kind of do the old things, the old way of doing things, and we push that behind. But we build on those things as well, right? And we build on our
Well, this is the largest change of era that we've gone through in the history of the world. This is actually a larger change era when we went from an agricultural age to an industrial age. And we're in the fourth generation of change of era right now. And this will be the most disruptive change of era. They're actually predicting that in the next 2 years, 800,000 jobs will disappear the way we know them.
within
And that's
the
not
next 2 years,
and
800,000
jobs. And
Oh my
then
God.
they're predicting by the year 2025, over 60% of the jobs will be gone. And the good news about this all is this technology is so disruptive. The good news is that for every one job lost, there's 6 more created. The problem that we're having right now is the gap between the people that are without jobs and the jobs that are available being qualified for them.
That's it. Being qualified for the jobs that are in our near future is very, very important. And people are going to college. I mean, they're going to college every year. What would you suggest that they look into now, knowing what just what you just said? What do they look for?
One of the areas that we are focused in on is STEM.
STEM?
But we call it STEAM because you add the art to it: science, technology, engineering, art, and math.
Okay.
And nothing starts without an artist. So that has to be a part of it. But those are the areas that are being focused in on. And then a lot of people are going to have to go back and be requalified for the new positions that are coming. So there's stackable certifications that they can go back and build up their resumes and be qualified for a lot of the new jobs that are coming available in this new era. What we're going through now is like when we went from riding horses and carriages and to driving cars. The blacksmith's job disappeared, but then there were jobs that were there for the auto repairman, for the car salesman. I mean, all different types of jobs were created. You have to be looking at the new jobs that are being created now, because a lot of the old jobs are going to disappear just because that's how disruptive this technology is.
Wow, so start looking at the new jobs. Encourage your young people as they're going to college. I know many have graduated now high school and they're pursuing. And it's very important that we have something that's going to be lasting and not something that just is going to come in and then blow out so quickly, but look at a job career that's going to last for a while. So I want to recommend that to our audience on tonight as well. Now, I want to ask you some questions. I want to get to know you. I want our audience to get to know you. And I know that there's been some people in your life that have really influenced you to continue to pursue greater and greater career. So who are those people that influence your life the most?
Well, I got to tell you that my parents all pushed me forward, and my stepfather and my father both were in business for themselves, so they were entrepreneurs in a period to where you had to be an entrepreneur to be able to survive with the economy that we were dealing with at that time.
Okay.
And so I got a lot of skills from them, but when I was in school, there was a lot of people that pushed me forward, and I would say that two of the most important people to me were Miss Smitty, which was our science teacher, and Mr. Mathis, who was our math teacher. They took a special interest in me and made sure that I was prepared with the skills to go to college. And by doing that, it gave me a leading point to be able to deal with the world the way we're dealing with it now.
That's wonderful. So you grew up around entrepreneurship.
Right.
That is so wonderful. And you're quite a businessman. You are quite a businessman, very committed, very dedicated to what you do. And you also teach in one of our local colleges here in Austin, Texas. And
No teaching.
Not actually teaching?
No, I
Coaching alone?
do mentoring and I do
mentoring?
and speaking in different areas of the universities and the colleges.
Oh, wonderful. So you're mentoring and coaching like that. That is wonderful. Well, I also want to ask you a question. Where did you grow up?
I grew up, my family's been here in Austin since 1860, and my family originated and still owns property out in Manchaca, Texas.
And what is that?
Manchaca. They call it Manchaca, but we call it Manchaca, Texas.
Manchaca, Texas.
And I was born in Buda, Texas.
Oh, in Buda. Yes, I know of Buda.
Yeah, and so I lived in part of my life in Buda, Texas. So.
Well, glad to.
Yeah.
Hey, you are a Texan, a real true Texan.
True Austinite, true Texan.
No doubt about that. Do you wear the cowboy hats and all that?
I don't wear the cowboy hats, but I do have the boots.
You can't live in Texas without a cowboy hat or a big buckle or boots or something like that. But that is so wonderful. Now you came from a culture of a family of entrepreneurship, but also I want to ask you, did they push you, did your parents or maybe the teachers, I was so impressed that you were able to mention some of the teachers and remember them. And it's very important, I want to say this to our audience, that you remember the people who helped to catapult you into success in your life. Never forget these people. They're very significant and they're very foundational. So I'm really impressed that you were able to even call those names out and say, these people really helped me and encouraged me along the way.
You never forget those people, because when you go into life and you realize the tools that they prepared you with, then you realize that the time and energy that they spent and how they pushed you, and sometimes you got just frustrated with them for pushing you so hard.
Of course.
But after you get out into the real world and realize how they prepared you for the real world, then you really appreciate what they've done for you. And I will never forget those two people, because they prepared me as far as my education more so than anyone else in my education system.
And I'm sure they look at you today and say, I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of Samuel.
Well, I hope so, but I really don't get to see. Mr. Mathis is no longer with us, and Miss Smitty is still out in Buda teaching.
She's out in Buda still teaching?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, that's great. People always tell us, you can hear it in the corporate world, everybody has to steam to the top. Try to get to the top.
Just got certified in circular economy, which I'm all excited about.
It keeps your life so much more exciting.
Right.
when you continue to learn and to grow and to develop and stay cutting edge in this present time. That's awesome. I want to ask you another question. You don't mind me asking all these questions, right?
Go right ahead.
I'm going to ask
That's
a
what
lot
I'm.
of
That's what I'm
questions.
here for, right?
And I'm sure you all want me to ask him a lot of questions too, right? We want to get to know such a distinguished person, and not only distinguished are you, but professional and also prosperous. And so I just think that's just wonderful. But everybody has had a beginning. Everyone has had a rough road. Have you ever had a rough road where it just kind of, you know, you're on a good path, but then life happens?
If you don't have a rough road, you're not growing.
You can say that again.
If you don't have a rough road, you're not growing.
Oh, wow.
And every bump you hit is a new experience that you learn to overcome. And the stronger you get, the rougher your road, the stronger you get.
Yeah, yeah. We learn through those
Those
rough times.
times. Well, it's a learning experience. It's
We
a
learn and
new
grow.
experience that we've never, if we had that experience, then we would understand how to deal with it. But when you go into new experiences, you have to learn. And sometimes we think it's rough when we're learning, but it's not. It's just moving to the next level and expanding your horizons.
Yes, that is so very important that we continue. Now let me just ask you. I know you mentioned earlier, but I want to kind of go back to it. The job market in the next 2 to 5 years, and what you see happening. I know you mentioned it earlier, but I really want our audience to hear this part because we live vicariously every day. We go to these jobs and, you know, we hope for the best, and without any real solid knowledge as to what's going to happen next. What should we be looking for? You know, some people depend on the government to tell us what's going to happen next, and we can see that our government is challenged. You know, so what do you suggest? Next 2 to 5 years.
The next 2 to 5 years, you've got to be looking at what changes that the 5 key elements of the market that are changing, how it will affect your lifestyle. One of them is blockchain. The other one is artificial intelligence. The other one is the AR, VR, and MR.
And what is that?
Augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality. Digital printing. And then one other one I just went out. I lost the memory of it. But anyway, these are key elements that are going to actually have a lot of effect on everybody's world moving forward in the disruption of this new economy that we're dealing with. And digital printing alone is just an element that's unbelievable. NASA uses digital printers to replace the parts in space on the spaceships.
Wow.
All the car manufacturers are using digital printers to replace parts in dealerships where they don't have to bring parts and ship them out. They just print them out now.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that digital printing will affect is the way jobs are done. There's the blockchain, which gives a lot of security and authentication of work and being able to traceabilities of things. Artificial intelligence and machine learning combined with blockchain gives you an unbelievable amount of power in this new area. AR, VR, and MR. AR is augmented reality is when you bring the virtual reality to the real world. Virtual reality is when you go into the virtual world. Mixed reality is when you bring the virtual reality to the real world and interact with it in the real world.
In the real world. So is it kind of like holograms?
Holograms, HoloLenses, and things that are creating holograms.
Yes, so it's an image we can see,
and so,
but it's not.
And you asked me about the disruption. If you're looking at the change that's coming, hardware will disappear next.
Hardware will?
Disappear next, and you'll see more HoloLenses and that type of deal. So you're going to see a lot of the major companies that are doing hardware have problems. You're already watching one of the big companies here in the city that produces hardware. They're having to change their way of doing business.
Wow.
So it's and it's harder for these larger companies to make these transitions because they have a culture of employees that really don't want to change.
Exactly.
They got a culture of management that has a siloed mentality when we have to have a collaborative business model now. And an old technology that needed to be replaced, but it's too expensive to replace it. So those 3 combination of things are why you're going to see so much disruption in the corporations going forward, and also job displacement.
So will people be left behind? Will jobs and businesses be left behind in the old technology of
Well,
doing things if they don't move forward?
The biggest problem we're going to have is controlling our raw assets. And when I say raw assets, we're talking raw materials, we're talking human assets. You know, right now unemployment in Austin is 2.2%. They just announced that today.
Yeah, which is not too bad.
That's like the lowest it's ever been.
Yes.
You know, when national average is over 4%,
Yes.
and that's the lowest it's ever been for national. So the human resource is going to be a major issue. So that's why you see everybody gearing up to give more stackable certifications to bring people up to speed for the new jobs that are coming available. So a lot of people, whether they want to or not, are going to have to go back to school and get some more certifications with the new technology that is coming into existence right now.
Do you know anything about data? How people keep data? How some companies keep their data?
Data is going to be your money going forward. It is, it's basically the most valuable thing that we can have, and most of it is being stored in the cloud.
Most of it is being stored in
And
the cloud.
it'll
We're
be
hearing more and more about the cloud. Have you been hearing it?
It will be managed through blockchain,
Yeah.
and will be used through artificial intelligence for machine learning and artificial intelligence to be able to help you with your day-to-day life.
Wow, that is so amazing. I was in Walmart, well, just a few months ago, and I was in the pharmacy area picking up something. I don't know what I was doing, but I can't remember what I was picking up. But all of a sudden, here is this robot, computerized robot, coming along and scanning all of the items all at once.
Right.
I thought that was amazing.
Well, you
I
got.
know that's not quite what you're talking about, but
That
I'm
it's-
just saying, see how things are shifting and
Well,
changing.
just look at the self-checkouts that you go through.
Yes, more
Remember how you hated to go through them? Now you can't wait to get through them.
No, we did. We hated to go through self-checkout.
and
we love it.
now you're like, okay, why is there a line? Why is there a line at self-checkout?
Right,
You know,
right.
you know. I remember going through and thinking, God, I can go through self-checkout and get out of here quick. Now I got to
Exactly.
wait in line at self-checkout. So it's amazing how we change and how quickly
Right.
we change. And what we're headed through is everything that we know about this world is about to make a massive change. This is, like I said, the largest change of era. And this technology is so disruptive from everything that we see, from communications to food
Yeah, even to our money.
to our money, everything that we do right
You
now.
know, I was just at another store.
Girl,
and
you shopping a
somebody-
lot, ain't you? You shopping too much, girl.
You're funny. I was at another store, and someone pulled out cash. And, you know, and I thought, you have cash? Because so many people have just the card, the chip card. And then I was at another store, and someone pulled out a check. And I thought, really? I mean, it held up the line so long, writing a check when, in just a short few years
Period of time.
ago,
Yeah.
we were writing checks and patiently waiting.
I don't
as
even
one
have a
person-
checkbook anymore.
I don't even have a checkbook anymore.
Yeah.
So wow, times are changing, and I really wanted to bring you in on as a guest primarily because you are helping us realize times are changing, and we're going to have to begin to acclimate to the change, whether we want to or not, because it's happening and it's going to happen.
Well, we have an opportunity, a choice to change,
Yeah,
or we're being forced into change.
I'll be forced.
Yeah.
You
And,
don't want to be forced.
and
You wanna-
when you're forced into change, that's where you have the attitude that something negative is happening to you.
That is so true.
Yeah,
That is so
so-
true. A lot of the moaners and groaners, complainers, they hate change.
And if you choose to change, then
And
it's an
they're
opportunity. It's an opportunity to have a new experience.
That's true. That's true. If we do change, it is an opportunity for a new experience. That's really, really great. You know, I want to just encourage our audience, when you stop learning, you stop growing. When you stop learning, you stop growing. So it's very important that you continue to learn and continue to advance and continue to grow and get to know new things, new ideas, new plans, new strategies. That's wonderful. Our guest is really helping us tonight. Thank you so much.
Well, and the word I think that is more applicable for that is evolving.
Evolving.
Right now, you've got to really evolve to be able to function in this new world. And if you say, I'm not going to do it, and I'm not going to learn, or I'm not going to adjust, then you're going to fall behind. And, you know, you're having a generation gap of every 90 days as technology is changing.
Wow, you're so right about that. I want to also just ask another question. I'm trying to get my little technology here together.
I'm watching you.
This is so fun. I'm telling you, I'm having a great time. I really, really am. Let's see here. Here's another question. How should a young person or any ambitious person prepare for their future? I know we talked about going to college. I mentioned college. Maybe they're in high school right now. Do you know anything about any classes or anything that they can begin?
Well, right now you have to really kind of have a determination up front of where your direction is going to go. It's either going to be into the arts or into, to the science. Biology, is an incredible area right now. Nanobioscience will be two of the strongest areas going forward.
I know they have science classes in high school.
They have all those classes,
and
right, and a lot of the kids right now are taking advantage of the dual credit, to where from the 9th to 12th grade they can go to college and get dual credit, and a lot of kids are getting an associate's degree at the same time they're graduating from high school.
That is so wonderful.
And in most schools it's free for them to go to college while they're in high school, so they can knock out their first 2 years of college for free. In a lot of the situations, not all of them, but in a lot of situations, that's what they can do.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. And it's usually the
new
junior
information for some people. They didn't know that.
And it's usually the junior colleges that are doing that.
What college?
It's usually the junior colleges that
The
are
junior
doing
colleges are doing that?
Yeah, with the dual credit.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's really, really great. Now I want to also go back to your business, C2C Fashion and Technology, and the global ecosystem. Will you tell us about that?
Well, our country is based around product development and branding and sourcing for those products. What I've done with C2C is created a global ecosystem. It's an ERP which manages your production, your invoices, your logistics, and all your business parts of your business. Then we have a social platform that gives you the ability to manage all your digital media. And the third part of it is the e-commerce platform, and within that e-commerce platform, we've included avatars, AR, VR, and all different types of new technology in the new platform.
And how does that affect fashion?
Just to give you an example, you've already seen it in the other room there.
Oh, yes, I have to tell you, I've been in this office. Oh, my goodness. What do you call that thing? I stand in front
of the mirror.
Of a mirror, but it's not the kind of mirror that you're thinking.
It's got
it's called
AR in it. It's called the Magic Mirror.
The Magic Mirror, and it's AR.
And it's called, and our corporate name is Mirror Me.
Okay. Well, anyway, I was wanting to shop a little.
You have the ability to shop online and try the clothing on.
And I was able to try clothing on.
And also jewelry.
Virtually.
Yep. Also jewelry.
And jewelry too.
And also you'll be able to do makeup.
Oh.
Hairstyles.
Oh my goodness.
And you'll be able to shop basically from your home.
And that was just standing in this virtual mirror.
Right.
And it's like I'm putting on the clothes, but I'm not actually putting on the clothes, but I can see how they would look on me. And it was just such a phenomenal way of shopping and going about this new age thing. It's amazing. We don't even have to leave our home just to put on an outfit or try on an outfit that may look good or may not look good. Or maybe the color doesn't work for you, or maybe it does. Or jewelry, makeup, or whatever. And
that's just the AR part. Wait till you go to the MR. Well, you'll be able to actually interact with the products when they're on the inside from the HoloLens into your own home.
Oh my gosh, this is exciting to me. I can't wait to put my hands on that kind of technology.
It's available. It's coming.
Wow, it's already here. We're not waiting for it. It's already here. I want to ask you another question. What are you doing? What are you working on now? What are you working on now? Anything new and exciting other than what you've already shared with us?
Right now, we're focusing on the new law that was just passed here in the state for legalization of hemp.
Of what now?
Of hemp.
Hemp?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And
tell us about that.
Hemp has capacity for a lot of resources that we need right now, and one of them is the fiber. A lot of people are using the seeds and the flour for different types of oils and medications and things like that. We should never have banned hemp, and the Chinese never banned it, so they've gotten a lot further ahead on the nature of the product. But right now, there's a lot of things from graphene to bioplastics to biofuels to hemp concrete. Hemp has the same tensile strength as steel.
Oh, wow.
It's the strongest steel. Graphene, which is a nanofiber, which is produced from hemp, is 100 times stronger than steel, and 1 ounce of it will cover a whole football field.
Wow. So can it be used
1
for
gram of it, I'm
roads
sorry.
and for putting out roads or
Mostly,
anything, or
mostly things that would require metals.
more
going-
building
Well,
structures?
I really can't go into a lot.
Okay,
I can't go into a
you
lot
can't
of,
give too much away, okay.
but think about something that's as strong as steel, and 1 gram of it will cover a whole football field.
Wow.
So,
Amazing.
and it's also a supercapacitor, so you can add it to batteries and make them a lot more powerful. Lots of different things you can do with these new products. And at one point, the U.S. government during World War II made it mandatory that all the farmers had 1/4 of their crops in hemp, because that's how much a part of our world was. You can do all kinds of clothing from hemp, fabrics, rugs, carpet, anything.
Out
You
of
can,
one
yeah.
product.
Wood
Is it called
products,
product?
wood products. You can do anything out of hemp. It's probably one of the most resourceful products that we'll be bringing back, which will give cotton a good run for its money, because 1 acre of hemp will produce 4 times more production than cotton, and use 1/4 of the water that cotton uses on an acre of land. Produce 4 times more product and 1/4 of the water.
Well, I have to ask you, is this good? Is this healthy? Is it good for us?
It's natural. It's natural.
It
It's
is natural?
it's nat-
Okay.
It's
okay.
healthier than cotton. Cotton uses 30% of the pesticides that we use here in the U.S. right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so it's a very natural fiber.
If that is, so it's not cutting edge, but it's just something that we kind of put aside here in our country,
Actually,
and
there's a
now we're
lot
bringing it.
of things like the bioplastics and the graphene and those products are going to change the way we see a lot of other products. They're leading edge products, and then the biofuels. You know, you're talking about basically it'll be in competition to some extent with the petrochemical industry.
Wow, that's just so fantastic. Well, we're at the end of our
Oh,
our,
okay. That was
broadcast
fast.
already.
That
it
was
goes
quick.
so fast.
Yeah.
It goes so
Yeah.
fast, and I'm enjoying you so very, very much. But I want you to share a little bit about some of the products that you have, because I went into your office and I saw handbags that had some sort of technology to it. There's clothing. If we put on a shirt, it keeps you cool, and you know it just has so many different innovative fashion now.
Well, what we're working on is
You
wearable.
can even charge your phone. You can put something on and wear it like a piece of clothing and charge your phone.
Well,
I don't know. I'm guessing.
we're developing a lot of nanobiotech, smart, intelligent fashion, and everything will be connected going forward. Your largest growth in the industries right now, the wearable technology industry is a $150 billion industry by the year 2020.
Oh, I can believe that.
And the growth in that with connectivity, everything will be connected going forward. And people talk about privacy, and they don't ever take into consideration the privacy that they lost with that phone that they can't get their face out of every day.
Right.
So I have to, you know, I hear a lot of naysayers when I start talking about some of the products. We have jackets that do signal for bikers and runners and joggers. We have solar-powered handbags that recharge all your products for you with
Isn't that
Omni
amazing?
charging. We've got a broadcast backpack that you can do LED broadcasting to, from everything on your phone to the backpack. Lots of things that will be interconnected and built into what we call 10 to the 9, all connected.
Outstanding. Amazing. Awesome. Wow. Well, my last question is going to be this, as we are now at the very end of our broadcast, but I think that we should end it on a really, really good note.
Sure.
And that would be, what is your favorite lesson in life?
I think that the biggest lesson that I've learned is that you don't work for money. You learn how to make money work for you, because when you work for money, you're a slave. But when you make money work for you, then you learn the power that money's only a tool and not a God.
Oh, wow. What a wonderful lesson we've learned. And thank you so much,
Thank you.
Mr. Alexander. Oh, I just love you. You're just wonderful. I love the way you think. I really, really do. And I'm happy to be your friend.
Well, thank you for having
making
me.
me your
Thank
friend.
you for
I
coming.
appreciate it. Hey, listen, thank you all so much for joining us on this broadcast with Mr. Alexander. And please join us again in the Winner's Circle. Thank you for being in the Winner's Circle tonight.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining the Winner's Circle. Until next time, bye-bye.
I'm feeling real good, I feel brand new. I'm seeing brighter days, I got a handle. Every day I'm winning, might just do a dance too. The vibe in me done arrived, so the dance smooth. The Winner's Circle, focus so the vision fertile. All my people with me, sky's the limit, don't be jumping hurdles. Everything is whole now, nothing in a semicircle. Hit me on that phone line, welcome to the Winner's Circle, peace. Last time, yeah I'm winning. Nothing in my way, never slow down. I done made mistakes, but there's no now. Only better days I can show now. Now it's time, yeah I'm winning. Waiting on this